Hey everyone, this is Miss Fusaro, and I wanted to explain to you about how our class blogging initiative works. So, every year for the last few years, this will be the third year, I've had my students blog on my public blog website, which is, as you can see up here, missfusarosblog.blogspot.com. And the goal of the students blogging, you guys, is to become effective global communicators, have every voice speak with the same volume, summarize and reflect upon the day's lesson, become responsible digital citizens, and become creators of information. So I've always loved the idea that you're publishing something on a public blog across the globe because that means you can say that you've actually contributed to content that is put out into the world. So, how this is going to work now, because we are working on in how this is going to work in 2021, we are working on cycles. So we're going to have 3 students per class per cycle be responsible for blogging. So let's take an example. Let's say the first cycle of blogging will start September 21st. That's an A day. So 3 students from an A day class, and I'll have a spreadsheet once everybody completes the form, will, in alphabetical order, be responsible for blogging that day. And they need to have the blog posted by the next cycle. So the next A day, which would be that Thursday. And over here, I have it explained what the blog should include. You got to use your full name, your class period date, and cycle letter. So, for example, John Doe, period 5, the date, day B, and please use the date assigned. So whatever date that you started for that cycle, not the due date of the next cycle. You're responsible for keeping track of when it's your time to blog using that spreadsheet. I'll have it visible for everybody. And you feel free to comment to one another, asking questions for clarifications. Remember, like I said, it's a global audience. And just here's it also a link on the website of how to make sure the blog is formatted correctly. There's a little video because sometimes if there's a problem with formatting. So, what should the blog include? You're going to pick one category. So, there's the reading and learning category, goal setting and growth, socio-political consciousness. So, when it's your turn to blog, you're picking one of those categories, not all 3. You're picking one of those categories as the content of your blog. So, let's say you're picking the reading and learning category, then that blog, you're going to write about your thoughts regarding the most current reading, whatever we're doing in class, reflect on any new info you've learned in English class by considering how that learning influences your critical perception, and how is what you're learning applied to any other classes or the world around you. If you're choosing goal setting and growth at this current point in time, what specific goals do you have for yourself? Why? How do you demonstrate resilience towards achieving this goal or these goals? How does the world around you affect your perception of the goal or these goals? If you're choosing the socio-political consciousness, what are your thoughts and feelings about issues of inequity, oppression, and or power? How do you reflect critically on your own beliefs, assumptions, values, and experiences, and how these can influence your perception of self and others? So there's some heavy stuff here, and it's enough of a variety that you could have freedom of your voice, like wherever you feel like going for that particular blog cycle. There's a Google Sheets blog date list. Like I said, as soon as we everybody completes that form, I can formulate the sheet, and so you'll know when your blogging cycle is. Also, this is where I'm going to rely on the blog masters to help me make sure those cycles and the dates align together. These are some samples of excellent blogs from the past. Now, I want to be clear that these samples, they had different requirements. So I change up the requirements each year. This way it keeps the blog fresh and it keeps, the content new. But to give you an example from one of my sophomores last year, they had to write about like what pathetic fallacy in Macbeth. So he goes on to write about pathetic fallacy, what we learned in class that day. But you could click around and see there was different requirements, how they're being graded. So I use the mastery grading system, and you can go ahead and read that, on your own time. The great thing about the blogs is that you'll get a grade for the blog within 7 days of publication based on that rubric above, but you may edit, revise, and update as much as you want for your blog. So if you are unhappy, you feel like you didn't reach mastery quite yet, you can continuously revise the blog until you do. The only caveat is that you must email me with the direct link to the published blog if you want me to go check out the revision. Why? Because it's going to get lost with other blogs on top of it, because it's all combined with all of my classes. So I can't sift through individual blogs one by one. It's too many. So you have to send me a direct link to the actual published blog. So how does this work? Once I get your that list, that form I ask you guys to fill out that has your email address and it has all the information like what class period you're in, so on and so forth, then this is the back end of the blog. What I'll do is I'll go into the settings and as I will add you as a contributor. I will add you as a contributor to the blog. So when you'll log in and you'll come to the back end, which is this of the blog itself, and you will be able to create your own blog by hitting new post. Now, here's the thing, when you do create a new blog, I am asking you to make sure you label it using Modern Mythology 2021. This will help people search and help keep all of your particular from this year, all of those blog posts together aligned with this particular course. Your title is, like I said, you're going to put the name, the date, all that information is like, where we were just looking, what the blog title should be, John Doe, blah, 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 period five. And then you're going to hit publish. Once you hit publish, then it's actually live. And then it's when I'll actually grade them when they're published and live on the web. You'll have a permalink at the bottom. You can just leave it as automatic permalink. That's fine. But you're going to go to the published blog. Make sure you don't leave it in this editing status. Okay, if you have any questions, oh, one more thing. Once I do get everyone's email address, you are going to get an email from Blogger that invites you to become a contributor on the blog. You must accept that email within 24 hours, otherwise, it shuts you out. Okay, you can't wait until it's your turn. You have to accept that immediately within 24 hours, or it will shut you out of the blog. So please make sure you do that. If you have any questions, please shoot me an email, kfusaropizzo@schools.nyc.gov, and I look forward to reading all of your blog posts.